Unit 6, Learning Target number 6. Calculate measures of spread, range. Up to this point, we've been talking about measures of center, which tells us basically where the center of some data is. Now we're going to talk about a measure of spread called the range. The range is a measure of spread. The range is the difference. Now remember, difference tells you subtraction. The range is the difference between the lowest and the highest values. Let's take a look at this example. Here we have a graph that tells us the birthday of students by month. Here are the number of students from 0 to 12, and here are the months that they're born in. Which of these, here's our first question, what is the highest value? Which of these is the highest value? Now sometimes you might be tempted to look up here, right? But that's not where our highest values are. Our highest values are marked along this graph. So which of these bars is the highest? This one is. The highest value is 10. What is the lowest value? So let's start looking down here, right? Lowest value, right there. August at roughly 1 here. So we'll say 1. So what is the range of different values? Well, again, the range is the difference between the lowest and the highest values. Technically between the highest and the lowest, but that doesn't matter. What is the difference between these two? To do that, we subtract 10 minus 1. The difference is 9. So the range for this problem is the difference between these two, 10 and 1, which is 9. So let's practice finding the range. Here we have Fernando. Fernando asked 8 7th grade classes if they liked math. Of course they did. Everyone loves math. He recorded the number of students for each class. His results are below. The students who liked math in each class, 15 in one class, 6 in another, 25 in another, and on down the line. We are going to calculate the range. Now, for the median, we had to put them in order so we'd find the middle. But for the range, we don't have to do that. We just have to have the highest and the lowest value. So which one of these is the highest value? Can you find it? The biggest one is 30. 30. The highest value is 30. Then we also need to know the lowest value. So which one is that? It's going to be right there. It's going to be 4. 4 is the lowest value, and if you remember, the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value. So it's 30 minus 4, and 30 minus 4 is 26. 26 here. So what does this tell us about the spread of the data? So we know there are values between 4 and 30. So one thing it tells us about the spread of the data is that there's a large amount of difference from one class to another about the number of kids who like math. 4 kids in one class like math, 30 kids in another class like math. So there's a lot of difference, there's a lot of distance between these two, and it's going to tell you there's a broad spread to the data.